just want to thank Stephen Marcy for letting us come to
Exciting you
your
have
home.
company.
Well, I want to thank all of you for coming. I'm very honored to have you come here.
The honor is ours. Absolutely.
Stephen Porter, born into a family of artists, his mother a painter, grandfather a successful architect. Stephen's father Elliot, an acclaimed photographer, and his uncle, the renowned painter Fairfield Porter. He learned to use woodworking tools in his father's woodshop early on, making his own toys as a child. And it was his father that taught him to appreciate the fine workmanship so evident in his sculpture.
I sold my first sculpture when I was about 10 years old, something I did at a summer camp. The counselor took it to a gallery in Santa Fe and it sold for $10. I was off and running.
He began his academic studies at Yale and later concluded them at Cornell. After graduation, his work received the attention of the noted New York gallerist Betty Parsons, where he was shown multiple times. He continued to create and began teaching at Penn State University, where he was a celebrated instructor for more than 3 decades, while showing his work at prestigious institutions across the country.
The surface is important, and almost all of it is mirror polished. Well, I did painted. I did a lot of painted steel. Painted steel isn't as permanent as stainless steel. Stainless steel was permanent, and then I learned that I could work with a mirror polish. Material that reflects and refracts its surroundings in constantly changing ways, adding an element of playfulness to the formality of the work. I liked what that did. I could do different shapes. I could do bigger pieces. I can't do wood pieces any bigger than these. And I mean, that for stainless, that would be a small piece.
His work is based on a formal vocabulary of geometric shapes, arranged in ordered configurations. They are purely sculptural ideas and are not concerned with external subject matter.
There is no metaphor. The subject matter is their geometry, conveying concepts of weight, tension, space, and gravity. The sculptures are concerned with the harmony created by these relationships and are an attempt to create beauty in formal structures. Well, I like circles. I've always done circles. From the very beginning, I've worked with circles. So that's my favorite geometry. The wood ones, as you can see, are all based on circles. And there's a whole series of these colored aluminum pieces that aren't circles. But that was something I worked on for about a year. Actually, they're powder-coated aluminum. I don't know. They're not circles, so I can't tell you exactly where they came from specifically. They were just shapes that I wanted to do. The only drawing I did was very brief sketches of work, but mostly I don't draw. I make 3-inch scale models that are exact, and I blow those up to the stainless. So I know exactly what I'm doing when I start with the stainless. These are my drawings. This is the way I figure it out. This is the way I do it. These are all cut to scale. That's just millions of them.
But when you're making something that must be that big, do you have someone helping you?
No, not
You-
do it all myself. I buy the stainless steel in 4x8 sheets. If it's necessary, I have a fabricator in Rockport who has a shear, and he can shear it up in straight lines into different shapes, and because I can't really handle a 4x8 sheet, but he can shear it up for me, and then I can do the rest of the forming here. Yeah. They used to let me go in there and work with the guy who's doing the shearing. He would shear it and I'd get down there and hold it over and say, do it here, do it there. They don't let me in the shop anymore. The unions got ahead of them and I'm not allowed in the shop anymore.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like to go in. This is the steel that I buy. This is the way it comes. With a mirror polish on it.
Wow.
And that's the thickness. That's 11 gauge 304 stainless with what's called a number 8 mirror. I make a full size mock-up, and there are a whole bunch of them over there. So this is the sculpture I wanted to make. Exactly. So I cut out these shapes. I can cut those with my bandsaw. I can cut the stainless steel with my bandsaw. So this is the first piece, and this is finished down to 600 grit sandpaper. 600 grit sandpaper. And that I can buff to a mirror from the 600. And then from there, I do this with this disc.
But does it come with a mirror surface on it though?
Yes, it comes with a mirror finish on it.
But then it gets.
So you see what happened to the mirror.
Oh,
The
okay.
mirror's just not there anymore.
So you rebuff it.
So I get it down with this. This is 120 grit and very stiff, and that'll take out all the. This is the way it looks after I've welded it.
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
And with this step, this is a grinding wheel. This gets it down like this. The next step is this. This is called a flap disc, and this is 120 grit. This will take this down till it's the same height as the surface here, and you can see this is mirror polish, but you can see I've made a mess of it. And then I do this, which takes it down to that, and this is the way I put it together. Spot welded it. I'll put it together like that, and then places like this, I can fill that with welding. And you see a little bit of it here. It's a mess. But then it ends up like that. There are the finished pieces. They have felt on the bottom, by the way, so they'll be safe on your living room table. But I was able to cut these curves out. I couldn't go to Rockport Steel. They couldn't do it. But they did the shearing. They did the shearing for all these pieces. This steel is 5 1/3 pounds per square foot. So this is heavy.
His roots in Maine run deep, having spent summers with his family on Great Spruce Head Island, where his grandfather built a grand summer cottage. Today, Stephen and his family still spend summers there, and after his retirement from teaching, he made Maine his full-time home, continuing to spend summers on the island and the remainder of the year in Searsmont.
And here's this one you saw the model for, the working models for that one. Here's my first sculpture. That would have been 59. Out of the blue, somebody wrote to me and said, "Can you design a table, coffee table?" So I designed this. That's one of my father's photographs. That's on the island on Great Spruce Hill.
Perfect.
And there's another one of his photographs over there.
Though his work is not directly influenced by nature, it is an important part of his life. Growing up in the Southwest, he often accompanied his father on photographic trips to wild places where he learned about nature and its importance. Summers in Maine, sailing, swimming, and hiking also contributed to his love of the natural world. His contemporary work, so often placed in natural settings, seems to become at one with its surroundings, the mirrored surface reflecting the ever-changing light and seasons.